Good Notes. Anybody remember that movie, Good Burger, or something like that? That's what I think of every time I see Good Notes. Anyways, so Good Notes right here in the middle. We're going to go ahead and open that up. If you've never done Good Notes before, then it'll look like this. If you've done it before, you may have quite an arrangement of miscellaneous documents and PDFs all over the place. So the first thing you want to do is maybe make some categories. So in the top left-hand corner, you're going to see this categories button right here, okay? So you touch on that and you'll just have uncategorized. That's the only thing that's in there, and trash. Sorry, there'll be a trash. But you can add categories. So you can see I've got a multimedia folder and a miscellaneous folder. So if you want to go ahead and add a category, you touch that plus sign. And what I would suggest is creating master categories, and then you can create categories underneath those. So think of this as like a filing system on your computer. You have a folder, and then you have folders within the folders. You can only do 2 sets of hierarchy like that, but you can do it if you do a master category first. So if I have a master category and I title it, if I'm a student, and I title it history, and I say okay, then I have a master category, or maybe like a super category. I'm going to call it super category. And you can touch history, and you can see there's nothing in there. Touch the plus at the top, and you can go ahead and create units or folders underneath there. So if they have folders for a specific unit that you want them to keep, so a unit 3 folder, then they can touch in there, and then they can create their folders. So let's go ahead and create a folder. So there's a plus up here, it even gives you a nice little hint. Tap to create your first notebook. So you touch the plus. If you do create a notebook, then that'll give you this screen. So we're going to go walk through this step first. So down here you have notebook. That's where you title your notebook. Okay. So we can call this whatever your notebook would be for. Week 5 notes. I don't know. I'm making things up. Nights notes. Thank you for autocorrect. You actually did something right. Okay, and then you can pick your covers. So this might take a while. You might want to give your kids a time limit. And I'm going to touch create down there at the bottom. So let's just go ahead and go over some basic functionality first. To get to another page, you're going to use 2 fingers to swipe left to right. Or you can, and what that does, you can see right there at the top says pull to add a page. So there's not actually a page over there yet, unless I pull and then it'll add another page. But you have to use 2 fingers. If you use one, it's going to think, oh, you want to mark on this. Okay, we don't want to mark. We want to turn a page. So if you want to use your finger, we'll go to the first, we're going to go opposite way at the top. If you'll go to the very top of your screen there, and you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons. And we're going to start from the right, and this little pencil with a no line in it, okay? And if you use that one, then you're allowed to go ahead and swipe through, just like that. I'm going to go to the marker now at the top, okay? Or the marker, more like a pencil. And this will allow you to write. You can write anything that you need to. It doesn't have to be a squiggly line. Touch on it twice, and it gives you options. You have color and thickness options. You can even do some editing and make some defaults. You hit the plus, and you get a plethora of colors if you want more colors in there. There's even a custom one. The next one is a highlighter. Okay, for obviously, that's how a highlighter works. You can touch on the highlighter again. You get the same options. You get different thickness. And you have your different colors, and you can do custom colors, but you know, as with highlighters, you kind of want to keep it down to a minimum, but totally preference for you. All right, and I'm just zooming in. Normally I'm just pinching and stretching. The next one up there at the top is your eraser. Okay, eraser, you just have this nice little eraser guy that you just drag around, and of course somebody was called right in the middle of this. Hold up. Yes, sir. All right, bye. Sorry, that was the president. You can also touch on the eraser, and it gives you a couple options, smaller, bigger, and then you've got kind of a much larger eraser there towards the end. The last one up here is a lasso. So if you want to move one thing in particular, like I want to move this line, I just go ahead and circle part of the line, and then I can move the line down if I want to. Up here on the top left-hand corner, you have a plus sign. Okay, so there is, you can add an image. You can add it from a plethora of places, and you can add them straight from your camera. So if I turn my camera on and I have a picture, and I'm going to allow this, okay? And if I have a picture, we'll do part of our master schedule here, okay? And a picture of that, I can say use that photo. All right, and now I have this photo in here, which I can go ahead and I can annotate on. If I need to highlight something, I can even do that. I'm not going to use yellow because obviously it's a yellow piece of paper, but I can highlight things on the picture now. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We can add a picture. We can also use one that we've added that we've saved somewhere else. And then you can, let's go back. Underneath that is a text mark, a text box. So if you, all right, so now you've got your text box, and notice that there's no up and down adjustments. It's only a left to right to adjustment. So if I know I'm going to fill in a spot just that big, I can leave it right there, and then I can just start typing. Typing on the iPad is super duper fun. I can't even describe how enthralling. Ooh, get it autocorrect. There you go. This is boom. And smiley face. Okay, so if you want to stretch it out, you can go ahead and adjust it. It adjusts by itself. Now, if you want to adjust the font and everything, select all in there. And then you've got your styles down here. So I'm going to change it to Georgia. And then I'm going to change it to a different font size. So we'll go gigantic. And you can even do bold and italicize, and you can adjust it to the center or the left and all that good stuff. Hold it.
Perfect.
See ya. All right, that was the vice president. I actually want to write a PDF. Maybe a teacher put a PDF in homeroom or something like that. And I want to go, oh, hello, ESPN. Sorry. So I'm going to go to our BISD page. I'm just going to grab a PDF off the internet so you can see how that kind of works. Okay, so let's go to our school, and there's a bell schedule. It's PDF. Okay, so whenever you open a PDF, it'll preview it in Safari. Okay, so you've got some options usually. It'll either say open in GoodNotes up here, or it might say something else like download or more. Okay, so if I hit the more, you can see there is an import with GoodNotes over there. That'll do it. Or you can just say open in GoodNotes. So it'll take you to GoodNotes, and it'll ask you, do you want to import this above or below? So think about what you're seeing as a stack of papers. Above is to the left, below is to the right. Okay, just think about it if it's like a stack of papers. Or if you just want to create a new document. So I'm going to create a new document. I don't want to add it to that picture that I already took. So where do I want it? Well, let's put it in our history folder, and we'll put it in that unit 3 that we already made. And so there it is. There's my notes, and there's my PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my PDF. And you can see at the top there that you've got those tabs now. So if I want to go back to those week 5 notes, I can just tab back over. And if I don't want it, there's even an X up there. I can just go ahead and close it out. So I've got this PDF, and I can mark on it now, just as I would anything else. I can even type on it. I can add that text box. I can add an image. That's not Mr. Kasinger. It's me. You can even add shapes. There's a little shape button up here. You touch that shape, and let's say I want to put a circle around advisory. So I circle advisory, and my handwriting is terrible, but watch. I let go, and boom, it corrects it for me. Or let's say I want to make a rectangle. Boom, correct. So it just it lets you make a shape, and then it corrects the angles for you, so it doesn't look terrible. Let's say I'm through with this now, and I want to turn it into homeroom. Okay, so that would be our next hurdle that we'd probably have. So we're going to touch over here on the right, and you have all these options. You're going to hit export. And you can either export all pages or current pages. So if you have a whole notebook you're going to turn in, you can do the whole thing. If you just want this page, you say export current page. You want it as a PDF, that's the best format to put it in. Keep everything else normal, keep the annotations on. You might want to have the kids change it because they may not remember what they titled it as. So if you actually have an assignment name, you might want to have them title it whatever the assignment name is. And then you'll hit export. So you've got all these options, but if you want to do homeroom, you don't see homeroom on there. Anybody want to take a guess? I'm running out of time. It's external apps. So you touch on external apps, and then you'll be able to find import with homeroom. Okay, and then it'll send it to homeroom. All right, well, let's say you want to do like page 1 and page 3. It's a little funny, but you can do it. Click on this index view up here. So we can see all of them. So I can jump to a page a little faster if I want to. That's really handy if you have like a 40-page document. So I can also I'll touch edit, and I'm going to select this one. I'm going to select that one. They're not right next to each other. It's not the whole thing. So then I'm going to touch export. So I'm going to export those two, and then I touch export, same process, external app, and then I pick homeroom again down there at the end. So some extra things for teachers. Options down at the bottom, options, okay? And you'll want to touch settings, general, and right here on the second one, it says hide user interface. It hides the interface, and the only thing they can see is the document. They can't see the buttons you're using. They can't see what options you're using, and it makes it really, really frustrating. So I would really suggest and it defaults to on, so you will need to change that. So go into options, then settings, and general, and then you're going to hide user interface and make sure that that is turned off, so no green, okay? While you're in here, also you'll want to turn on Google Drive. So then if you ever want to export to Google Drive and save stuff in your Google Drive, you can do that. So you turn on Google Drive, and then it'll ask you to sign in, okay? Some extra stuff in here. This palm rejection is pretty cool. So like when you write, your palm's on the paper, okay? Well, you don't want your palm making marks. Anyways, if you tell it, I have a writing posture that looks like this, or my hand's like over here, or you just drag that around till your posture looks correct. And then you can even say sensitivity. So if it's picking up a lot of stuff and you just don't want it to, you can set the sensitivity on lower or higher, or just turn it off completely, okay? There's also a palm rest. If you turn that on, I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to go in this, and you can see there's a tab down there at the bottom left. And if I pull that up, then that acts as a rest. And anything I do down here, it's not going to pick it up. So I can rest my finger on it, and then I can draw up here. And as I come down, I can move that down with it. Okay? And you can see my shapes are still on because it's making it squiggly. Okay, but that is essentially a basic run-through whirlwind tour of GoodNotes.